You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock. Unfortunately, riding solo on today's show as my man Dalby is not feeling too well. Although, do have some good news for you as gas prices are allegedly supposed to drop tomorrow. Nothing too crazy. It's supposed to drop 2 cents today and about 13 cents tomorrow. So what's gas sitting at? Like $1.86, 85. Expect it to be like $1.73 or 74 tomorrow, which, I don't know, you can save yourself 10, 15 bucks at the pump. If you can afford not to fill up today, just wait tomorrow to save yourself a few bucks there. The crazy thing is even if you were to like throw 20 bucks in the tank today, it doesn't even do anything even more. It barely moves a notch on your gauge there. Even weirder of a thought that I have is, you know, especially with gas prices being as high as they have been, we all do this thing where we reminisce about how cheap gas was. You know, back in my day, gas used to cost 55 cents, something like that. Weird thought, 20 years from now, when gas is probably like 13 bucks a liter or whatever it's going to be, you know, there's going to be some kid nostalgic about these gas prices being like, kids, listen, gas used to be way cheaper. It used to be $1.85. So, if this makes you feel any better, technically we're living in the glory years. Not ours, but someone's glory years.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
By now, I assume you've heard about the big Kit Kat heist in Europe, where 12 tons of Kit Kats were stolen from a Nestle truck. They never caught anyone, but it became huge news last week. It became a meme, and Kit Kat's been milking the hell out of it. They actually did a pretty cool bit yesterday where a Kit Kat truck was spotted driving through Toronto with security detail, kind of like how the president will move. They had the Kit Kat truck driving on like the Gardner with 4 black Suburbans alongside it. It was driving by like the Rogers Center, the Eaton Center, and all that stuff. And honestly, seeing that, it was funny. But it had me starting to think, maybe Kit Kat just made this whole thing up. It would be genius marketing. Like I said, everybody was talking about it. It was all over the internet. Kind of like how, you know, celebrities will fake paparazzi shots. They'll go to a bar, they'll call TMZ or whatever just to like kind of cause a scene and get some attention on themselves. And I was thinking, maybe we could do something like that for this show. You know, make the show go a little more viral kind of thing. I don't know if anybody's got like a cat we could throw in a tree. Me and Dalby maybe come by your house. You can take a photo of us like rescuing it. You know, we can be local heroes, kind of something like that. Or, I mean, it kind of actually works perfect today. Dalby's sick. He's not even here. We could just start spreading a rumor about him. You know what it is. Dalby was 100% part of that Kit Kat heist. Start spreading the news, call the newspaper, post it on Facebook, make this show go a little more viral. He might not appreciate the tension now, but I will.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
So I think what really happened is that Dalby's dad finally came back with the cigarettes and the milk. So they're out now doing father-son stuff, you know, tossing the ball around, maybe hitting the batting cage, eating cereal, but also Dalby is smoking again because he thinks that that's the only way to make his dad stay now. So Dalby's buying them for both him and his dad so he won't leave again.
You know, I love that I asked you guys to spread a rumor on why Dalby's not here today, and like 90% of the texts and messages I got were about Dalby's dad coming back into his life. Someone did have a great theory, though, is that maybe it was Dalby's dad that orchestrated the big Kit Kat heist in Europe. I mean, we talked about his dad a lot on the show this month. Maybe he was listening. Maybe he got in touch with him. Maybe, you know, after bailing on his son, he wanted to help him out, hook him up with some coin. Kind of adds up. We do have Rachel who said this.
Going back to, I think it was last week, we could say that Dalby has left and he's now selling pizzas in Thailand.
Which, once again, kind of works with the Kit Kat theory. You know, him and his dad, they set up this heist. They're able to get some extra coin. I mean, he said he would never be able to afford to move to Thailand and start this business himself. But if they pulled off the heist, it's kind of all adding up here, guys. Finally, we have Connor, who kind of has another callback to something we talked about and a theory on why Dalby's not here.
Dalby couldn't make it into work today because he was caught trafficking sex toys.
If you don't remember, there was something we talked about too. Down in, what was it, Dallas a few weeks ago, there was over $250,000 worth of male sex toys that were stolen. And I'm not saying that things are starting to make sense, but you can see the pieces of the puzzle are really fitting together this morning.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
One of the biggest things that we talked about yesterday was the unfortunate event of the guy trying to catch a foul ball at the Tampa Bay Rays game the other night, where he leaped and his sweatpants fell down. For some reason, he was commando. Full moon showed to not only the crowd, but millions and millions of people on live TV, and then, of course, everyone who saw it on the internet. We played the clip for you yesterday, but I found the full clip from TV where the announcers, I guess, couldn't hold it together, so they just muted their mics. Listen to how long it takes them to come back to air.
Everybody okay down there?
Catcher's challenge is called. Pitches the ball. Tampa Bay has one remaining.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
That is a full 38 seconds before anybody says anything. You got to imagine the fellas in the booth were just absolutely cracking up and had to mute themselves. And I honestly applaud their professionalism, because as a broadcaster, sometimes it's very hard to bite your tongue. Sometimes you got to mute yourself. And, you know, honestly, don't you wish that you could do that in real life sometimes? Just hit a mute button would probably help a lot of us out in some of our relationships.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Yesterday, we did the draft of the sexiest foods, and I guess friend of the show, James, was not a fan of that draft as he left us this voice memo.
Never in my life have I ever found a food sexy. In this world today, I think if someone finds food sexy, I think they should be put on a list.
Well, you know what I say, in this day and age, in the year that is 2026, James, you know better than that. You can't be judging others for their views. And I think, you know what, if you heard yesterday's draft and you thought the same thing as James, food is sexy in more ways than just the appearance itself. Hear me out. You telling me you've never been hammered drunk and had a pizza show up after the bar? Oh, that is so sexy. Some after bar eats. I mean, the feeling of when you're inebriated and you're going to get food, it's almost like the same as, chasing some skin, right? You're aroused. It's all you're thinking about. It's all in your mind. And then when you finally get it, you're literally foaming at the mouth just to get it. That's sexy. The food is sexy in there. And maybe I haven't sold you on why food is sexy. Think about it like this. Cooking and baking. If you're in a relationship or you're dating, or maybe you just even watch someone prepare a meal, that's super hot. The effort, the passion, everything that goes into it, the preparation, right? And I mean, hell, even if your partner can't cook, you're telling me you don't get a little bit aroused when all of a sudden, out of the blue, they just show up with some food? Courtney surprises me with some Taco Bell. Makes me want to think outside her bun sometimes. I'm telling you, now that's sexy.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
All right, boys, it's Ethan, and here's what I find sexy. So when you're trying to bust that one nut loose, you're just trying to bust that one nut loose when you're working on the vehicle, and when you get it loose without smacking your fingers on the frame, that's probably got to be one of the sexiest things out there.
Oh, so satisfying, man. And satisfaction is sexy as a whole, too. And, you sound like you'd kind of be up Ashley's alley. As Ashley, you were saying what you find sexy, right?
Just like those take charge and get her done people, the ones that are like, I got to get this done, and they just do it, like just get her done. It's like You know, what those hands do, boy. Oh, you build houses? Oh, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to change the tires on my car? You're going to do my oil for me? Oh, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing sexier than dirty hands clean money, you know?
That's exactly it. I tell my boys all the time, you know, girls like a guy that can get things done. Girls like a guy that can cook, you know, get her done.
Honestly, even as a guy, I think there's nothing sexier than seeing a girl who's not afraid to get her hands down and dirty. A girl who can kind of show you up sometimes, knows just as much as you do about tools or maybe even more. That's super hot stuff. Seeing a lot of interesting stuff on the text line here, 762-555. Someone said the perfect cut grass. That's how I know I'm getting older. I have this beautiful appreciation for a good, sexy lawn. Even Caitlin texted in at 762-555. She said a man who loves to clean and do laundry is so hot. I'm just saying, fellas, if you need to earn some brownie points, get out the Lysol, get out the Swiffer. I'm telling you, you might need a mop in more ways than one afterwards.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
So the Artemis 2 crew will be returning back to Earth tomorrow, supposed to land at about 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. And man, the photos and stuff take away all the toilet problems that they were having. If you haven't seen any of the photos of the moon itself or looking back at Earth, it's absolutely beautiful. Really cool. They released like a list of all the food that they have on board. I mean, most of it's like astronaut paste. But one thing I really want to know is, what are they doing in their downtime? Because I know, I mean, the whole mission is to be up there is to work, but are they watching Netflix in between, any YouTube videos, or even just, are they listening to music while they're working at least? I feel like if you're on a space shuttle, you got to listen to Rocket Man once, or I mean, if you're going to go look at the moon, it feels like an absolute sin if you don't listen to Dark Side of the Moon, right? I guess even the real question is as they're coming back to Earth, are they just sitting there nervously waiting, or are they listening to music? Like, what would be the best song to listen to as you're coming back into our stratosphere? You know, maybe like Ring of Fire would be kind of fitting, right? Because it's a literal ring of fire that they're coming down into. The final countdown, maybe a little more ominous. That would probably be like more liftoff music, I guess. But like, you could do some funny stuff like Life is a Highway or Free Fallin'. Maybe some Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down, or hell, maybe they could just even rip some Kesha tomorrow as they're coming back down.
Going down. I'm yelling timber. You better move. The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
All right, it is Masters Week, and we have been asking you to do golf impressions. And you know, I was thinking, when you think of golf, you think of Happy Gilmore a lot, right?
Bitch ball, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
So I want you to not give me a Happy Gilmore impression, but I want you to threaten your golf ball here this morning to go in to the hole. And if you're not one of our golfers, that does make you a judge, so 762-555. Judge accordingly. We'll start off with this one here from Katie.
Hey guys, this is Katie, and this is me yelling at a golf ball. Oh my God! Why don't you just go in the hole? You don't go in that hole, I'm gonna turn you into a beer pong ball. Gonna put you in a college frat house for the next 20 years. Oh, hey guys, it's my shot. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, guys.
Love the energy. Really channeling your inner Happy Gilmore there, Katie. All right, we move on. I believe this is Bruce.
Hi, my name's Bruce. Here's me talking to my golf ball. Look, you and I both know that you're supposed to go in the hole. I know you love the water, but you can't swim. And I swear to everything that's good in this world, if you go in the water one more time, I'm not coming to get you.
All right, okay. I thought you were going to lean more into the angle of like threatening to put the ball in the water, but I like it. We have got Chris here.
First, you're 15 feet short. Then you're left of the green. Then you're right of the green. Now you're left of the green again. Then I hit you and you hit the flagpole and roll off the green. You don't want to be on there? That's fine. You and your friends love being in the water so much? Here, go sleep with that one.
All right.
Pencil me down for an 8.
Ironically enough, that was exactly what I was thinking Bruce was going to do with his, so okay. We got Bruno here.
Listen, buddy, you're right there. Just jump. Just think of it as a pool of success, a pool of freedom. All you gotta do is just jump. Now, why couldn't you just jump? You're right there. Just jump.
Kind of trying to go with the Tony Robbins method, encouraging them to take the leap of faith there. Okay. We'll do one more. This is Sandra.
Listen, Paul, I want you to roll, be hard, and firm. Move it.
Okay. I think there's one clear winner here. And it's got to be the first one. It's got to be Katie. She brought the Happy Gilmore energy today.
Hey guys, this is Katie, and this is me yelling at a golf ball. Oh my God! Why don't you just go in the hole? You don't go in that hole. I'm gonna turn you into a beer pong ball. Gonna put you in a college frat house for the next 20 years. Ugh! Oh, hey guys, it's my shot. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, guys.
And Katie, you get the ding and the round of applause. $100 in Lotto 649 tickets is yours. And Katie, you're welcome to come golfing with me anytime. If you are actually that angry on the golf course, it'll make me feel a lot better about my golf game.
This is the Brock and Dalby podcast.
So it looks like Sharon Osbourne is selling her Los Angeles home there. I mean, it's no surprise. She moved back to England after his passing. They really had no use for that LA mansion. I mean, it makes sense, too. It's a pretty big house, probably a lot of memories in there. But if you got a cool $17 million, that house can be yours. It's actually the house that they filmed the Osbournes in. Check this out. 11 bathrooms, 11,000 square feet. I could honestly see, because it was the house that they filmed the Osbournes in, I could see someone buying this and turning it into an Airbnb because people would pay money to stay there. I mean, you see it all the time where shows are filmed or movies are filmed. Hell, what was it? The cabin from Heated Rivalry is being rented out on Airbnb right now. I could see people going there just to kind of bask in Ozzy's legacy, I guess, which is something I always find kind of a little bit bizarre when these celebrity houses go up for sale. Like, is that the big selling feature to the house itself, that this famous person once lived there? It is kind of a weird bragging right. You know what I mean? Like, they charge more for you to live there just because this house was owned by a famous actor, which, yeah, sure, that's cool, but the toilet still clogs like a normal one, while you're paying an extra few $1 million to poop where a celebrity also poops.
This is the Brock and Dalby podcast.
Send a text to us now. Send a text to us now. Send a text to us now. 762-555. 762-555. 762-555.
All right, let's get her going. 762-555. Got my girlfriend Courtney filling in for Dalby today since he is sick. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
First question in. Says, if you could fight any celebrity, who would you want to fight?
Anybody?
Anybody.
Stephen Hawking.
Babe.
I could win.
What are you doing? We're on the radio right now. Stephen Hawking?
Well, from the grave, yes.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, what am I saying?
But to be fair, I feel like I'm justified because he had pictures on the island.
Oh, like the Epstein list?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like really scared of your answer, but to be honest, that is a justified answer. He probably deserved a smack or two.
Yeah, maybe.
Sounds like he got up to some greasy stuff out there. Okay, that's a good answer. Someone wants to know, as a female, is the silent treatment really a punishment?
No.
No, I mean, it sure feels
so.
like it when you're doing it to me.
But does it? Well, no, I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so? Then why? I mean, not saying you're speaking for all females here, but why do you guys do the silent treatment? Why can't you just talk it out?
Sometimes we just need peace and quiet.
All right. Well, that can be a two-way street then.
Yeah.
Okay. If chairs could talk, which place would have the most traumatized chairs?
Ooh, I feel like I have a few of these.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to start with roller coasters.
Roller coasters?
They've seen a lot.
Yeah. See a lot of like barf and whatnot too, I guess.
And who knows other things.
Yeah.
Waiting rooms.
Oh, waiting room chairs are probably the grossest.
But especially like the walk-in clinics. They probably see a lot.
Yeah, and those probably never get cleaned.
Oh.
You got more.
Yeah. Toilets are technically chairs, right? That would probably be the worst.
Great answer.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, you're on the ball today. I was just going to say like maybe like a bar stool or something, but okay.
Well, I mean, technically maybe that, but toilets are it.
Final one here. You can only communicate using one word for an entire 24 hours. What word would you use?
What word would you use?
Maybe.
Oh, wow. That's a dangerous word, bro.
No, because it's like it's like anything else you ask me in life. Maybe is the right answer.
No,
it's not a yes or
no.
No. Any relationship advice for someone that's in a new relationship right now?
Get a cat.
Stop. Maybe is the best answer. Just like ask me if I can get you a cat.
Yes.
Ask. Well played.
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.